The meaning of life according to religious people. Now, if I may misrepresent you, please interrupt as I go along. Right, I hope you won't disagree with the first point. God exists. Good, right, excellent. Next point. God created the world. No qualms there, jolly good. God created us. We must do his bidding. Now, this is a point where we might get a bit contentious. God created us for a purpose. We must do his bidding because he created us. He set out the rules. The rules for, I'm sure you all know, Bible, Quran, etc., etc. They all lay out rules for living, guidelines, if you want to be a bit liberal. Rules for living that we should all abide by. He gives us direction by giving us these rules. These rules lead us the way that he would like us to live our lives. Therefore, we have purpose. We have things to do, things not to do, things to direction and where we should go. Therefore, we have meaning to life. Now, as I said before, the perception is that because we have meaning, it means that life is going to be fun and exciting because we have meaning. Right, let's look next bit. Life has meaning. Oh, there is one problem. If you're an atheist with what I've just said, one tiny, tiny, tiny little blip in our argument. What happens if you don't believe in God? What happens if that tiny piece of information is gone? So, let's go back to the diagram, shall we? The meaning of life according to religious people. The meaning of atheist life according to religious people. Right. First, God doesn't exist. Well, we can take that. God didn't create the world. God didn't create us. We mustn't do his bidding. He hasn't set out the rules. He doesn't give us direction. No purpose, no meaning. Oh dear. That sort of puts things... That doesn't set a very good way for us to live, does it? Never mind. Let's go on, shall we? Ooh. Therefore, life must be horrible for atheists because there is no meaning. No purpose, no direction, no nothing. Life can't possibly have no meaning, you may cry.
Life can't possibly have no meaning.
Yeah, you get the gist. Right. Therefore, God must exist because he gives life meaning. Right, I'm just going to have a drink. Right, therefore God must exist. What do we think of that? Right, okay. What's next? Does there have to be an objective imposed meaning? By that I mean, does the existence of God out there impose meaning upon all of our lives? Because if you believe in God, you believe, maybe misrepresenting people, but you believe that God has given you meaning to life. Without you, you wouldn't exist. Yeah, there we are. Right, okay, we shouldn't do that. Now, the question is, can we make up our own purpose and meaning? Is it even possible for meaning to be posed on us by another? By another, I mean God. Now, depends on personal values. Now, I'm going to come to this through an example. I like examples. No, yes, right. Speak to a theist. They say, again, I repeat myself, that they are not forced by God to value him. So God hasn't gone into their minds and told them they must value God. So God, the belief in God, must be a self-imposed value, a value that I believe God exists, I value God, therefore God has given me meaning. Meaning comes from they value God, a personal choice, not a God-imposed one. Because if we take the converse of that and say that they are forced by God, they wouldn't value God if they were forced, because a value is something which comes from within. It is something that your life experience gives you. It makes you value something. You can't have values imposed upon you because they're purely through personal experience. Now, as it can come from within, and we've said that theists will say that they're not forced by God to value God, this meaning can exist in the absence of God, because we don't need God to give meaning. Have meaning. Therefore, life as an atheist mustn't be that depressing, right? Yeah.